So, Louis Pasteur.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that name. Made it so that sour cream was a thing.
Is he also responsible for cottage cheese? Because if so, that's a travesty.
That's a negative against him.
Yeah. Travesty.
So, drink milk, don't die. Cool. Cottage cheese, not cool.
Gross.
You have to
I
decide.
love cottage cheese. Come on.
Are you a small curd or large curd guy?
I am any curd. I just like cottage cheese.
Give me all the curd.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm not a cottage cheese guy.
No? Oh, it's really good.
I mean,
in spaghetti.
I've told you my problem with cottage cheese, right?
No.
What's like bile?
Well, that too. It has no identity. It has zero identity.
Oh my gosh.
You can eat it with sugar. You can eat it with pepper. You can eat it with vegetables. You can eat it on a salad. You can eat it with fruit. You can have it with watermelon. You can have it as a side dish. You can have it. It has zero identity. None whatsoever.
Well, you could say the same thing about grits, can't you?
No, grits are delicious. You watch your mouth.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dolan.
Woo, back to the East Coast this week. We've never done this brewery, and I'm shocked.
Me too. But it's not like we can really just go pick it up.
Well, I mean, no, that's true. I don't even know distribution for Trillium. Where they're outside of Massachusetts. How much distribution do they really have? I don't know. I couldn't find that anywhere, quite honestly.
Well, let me give you a little knowledge.
Oh.
Because I found some stuff.
Oh, on Trillium Brewing Company?
.com, maybe. I don't know. That might have been where I found it.
Maybe.
You can't just go pick it up.
Right.
You had to bring this here. But
I did.
However,
Yep.
if you scan through the fine print on their website, you will find that you can buy it direct from the brewery, and they will ship it to these states.
Okay.
Massachusetts, which you were there. New Hampshire, D.C., the District of Columbia, Vermont, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and then there's one other state, and it's Nebraska.
What?
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
This is not a true story.
It is super true.
Wow.
I screenshotted it. I texted it to my beer group, and I was like, we can get this here? Why are we not drinking this beer?
Why? Yeah.
So, after this, we'll, go spend a whole bunch of money and have beer shipped to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was probably spendy. And I honestly didn't look into it too much because I didn't want to know. I'm just going to say it's expensive.
It's
so I
expensive.
won't, do it myself.
Well, so what I brought back, I was
boy.
in Boston. That's thick, isn't it? It is thick.
That's 2 C's thick.
I was in Boston back in November for a staffing conference, healthcare staffing conference.
Those get pretty crazy, right?
Those were they're fantastic.
Yeah.
It was at a casino hotel there in Boston. It was an Encore, which was a Wynn property. It felt like when you walked in the doors, it felt like you were in Las Vegas. Quite honestly.
Okay, that sounds all right.
But we were within driving distance of Trillium, and which is downtown Boston, right near the Boston Tea Party, like where that took place. And so we had Mike Combs' sister was there and drove us down there and found a place to park and walked around downtown Boston. It was fantastic.
So I found there's 3 tap roomy locations. There's one near Fenway,
Yes.
which I think is not the one you went to, or maybe
It is not the one I
Okay, so
went
then
to,
you probably
no.
went to Fort Point.
That's exactly it. Yes.
And then there's one called Garden on the Greenway,
That sounds fancy.
which is closed in the wintertime, but it's more of a outdoorsy patio sort of scenario. There's lots of other shops and stuff around there, and you're kind of just walking around, and there's a place you can have some of their beer and
have some
food.
beers.
Yeah, it's like a beer garden, but around some other things too. And then they have a farm,
Oh.
and it's in North. Boy, that's a word I wrote a long time ago. Maybe it's called Storington, Connecticut.
That's like a very East Coast thing.
That sounds very posh. North Storrington, Connecticut. They have a farm there. They are planning to produce all of the produce that they use in the restaurant.
Oh.
So they're, farm to table sort of scenario. They are building this out. It looks like it's been open for about a year. They are their plan is to make it like a beercation place. Like you can go there. You go there on purpose. You don't just happen to find it. You know what I mean?
That too seems like a very East Coast thing. We've talked about those before.
Yeah, we have one of those in Nebraska that I know of. That's like you can stay at the brewery place.
That's Kincaider, right?
I think so. Yeah. Something like that. It's out west. That I know.
Yeah.
But they are also growing some hops there on the premises and some like herby sort of stuff for like saison, farmhouse ale, that sort of stuff. So that's what they do at the farm.
Their farm. I wrote this down. A farm focused on regenerative, holistic agriculture.
There you go.
That sounds snooty. Kind of. All right. What do you think? What do you think about this? Because I'm gonna tell you, I would have drank this. I didn't while I was there. I had like IPAs and stuff like that while I was there because that's honestly that's what I know them for.
Sure.
But I bought this because they would just come out that week, and then when I saw what the ingredients on it, I thought, okay, Brian's gonna like this.
What are we drinking first of all?
It's a coffee cake Imperial Stout with coffee, vanilla, and Vietnamese cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get the cinnamon. That's my favorite part because I love cinnamon.
Yep.
I love cinnamon to the fact where I would just chew Big Red gum nonstop.
Oh, really?
Just chew it. When the flavor's over, get rid of that. Get a new one. Pow. I like this. I like the vanilla's kind of there, but the cinnamon's my main thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of.
I like on the label itself. There's like a little coffee and then like a little Danish, like a little coffee cake looking thing. Yeah, and that's exactly what it tastes like. It's yummy.
Oh, that is very good. And it's like, it is thick.
It's thick.
It's coating.
Oh, it's good though.
Yeah, this is what I want in a stout as far as the body goes.
Overly cinnamon to me, but that's okay. I have no problem with that.
You can tell it's 11.6.
I think.
Yeah.
It's a little burny. Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit, but not nearly as bad as some that we've had. I had a 14%er last night.
Oh,
that
and you're still here today. That's good.
Well, it was just a little 4-ouncer. That was it.
Oh, okay.
4-ouncer.
You can see in Dolan's glass because, well, and yours too. I have the metal today. You can see where you drank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's on the glass.
In wine terms, this has good legs.
Yeah. It looks like you put some motor oil in that cup.
Right. Yeah. This is thick legs,
and that's what you want.
Yeah. There's all kinds of jokes there. I'm not even going to start. Trillium, founded in 2013 by JC and Esther TETREAULT.
Trill.
It sounded French and I
Trill.
blacked out.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know. Sorry, JC and Esther. I apologize, but we'll go JC and Esther. There we go.
JC and Esther Trillium.
First location was in Fort Point, like you said. Quickly made their way to the top of the best brewers in the world 100 list beginning in 2014.
Oh.
So instantly shot up the charts. From 2016 to 2019, RateBeer.com consistently listed Trillium as the third best brewery in the world.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Worldwide.
Ridiculous. That is a ridiculous place to land on that list.
I will just mention again, we can get this shipped to Nebraska. Just gonna throw that in there.
Here's what I found sad. And this is why maybe we don't, because this popped up a couple of days ago through some emails. Like, why don't we have a Wikipedia page? Why doesn't Atlas have a Wikipedia page?
Good question.
The Trillium Wikipedia page looks like a hit job.
Oh.
It looks like it's a place for, because anybody can update those,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's just, and so that's, you got to be careful with the information you get from Wikipedia. I actually wrote this down. Their wiki page seems like a hit job. Lists only their struggles as they've grown from a very negative point of view. Not like they've overcome these struggles as they've grown as a brewery or whatever. Let's not highlight that they were the third best brewery in the world for 3 years.
Yeah.
According to one of the largest beer sites in the world.
Yeah.
Let's
some
go
sour
after
grapes
them.
sounds like was.
Let's go after them a little bit. It's bullshit, but. I didn't experience any of that negativity when I was there.
Yeah.
It was packed, and it was like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
When we were, no, it was a Monday when we were there, and it was absolutely packed. Couldn't find a place to sit. Kind of went up to the bar on the one side. Everybody was awesome. Like, they were fantastic. Even for East Coasters. Like, sometimes, East Coast gets a bad rap on, they're harsh or what. These guys were awesome. They were super cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess usually when I'm looking at Wiki, it's for like, what's the history of broccoli? Stuff like that. So I don't usually business that, but that seems interesting.
This was clearly done in with
malice.
With malice.
Bad intent.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side of that, they have a blog page on their website that I have not seen necessarily from a brewery before. I've seen blog pages before on brewery websites. This is, it's very dynamic. They update it often. There's really good articles, blog pieces about not only brewing, but about sustainability and Boston and that type of thing, in addition to their beers. Like, they sprinkle in blog pieces about their beers that are coming out, like this one or whatever. But yeah, then the next one's about sustainability and what they're doing for that. The next one is about, their struggles in buying furniture for the brew house and for the tap house and that type of thing. It's cool.
They must have somebody that actually does that, because a lot of times you'll see breweries that will have like a story in there. It's like from 2019, and that's like the last update. It's like, you might as well just take that down.
Right.
No,
this one, there were multiple blog pieces from this year.
Cool.
In addition to like going back into last year. So.
So you said when you were there, you had IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
I went through their menu because I saw the shipping thing to Nebraska, and I was like, oh well, what do we got here?
What are we gonna order?
They're 4-packs, or $15 for some of the beers.
Yeah,
which seemed pretty reasonable to me. Now, if that's without whatever those costs are, but if you were at the brewery, that's what you're gonna get. Seltzers, they have their own seltzer line. 15 as well.
Didn't see those when I was there, but I probably would have tried one if we spent some time. So
yeah, fruit smoothie sort of beers. We've seen those here and there.
Yeah,
$22. So I mean,
it takes a lot of fruit to make those.
It does,
right?
And they're very labor intensive. Then I found some bombers. They have a Boston Stout, they call it.
Oh.
I assume it's like an Irish stout, kind of thin-ish, dry. Not like this one, of course.
No.
Their IPAs, they had a whole bunch of them. They ranged anywhere from 18 to 22 for a 4-pack, which is pretty standard. Then they had some of the Imperial things. They had Imperial Stout with vanilla. That was $20. Okay. That's all right.
In a bomber, you said? Okay.
And then they had an Imperial Stout with Thai bananas.
What?
I don't even know what a Thai banana is.
No.
But apparently they have enough of them that they could put them in a beer.
I only eat Brazilian bananas.
Well, then you can't have... Well, maybe you can drink the Thai. I don't know.
I eat Walmart bananas.
There you go. I get the cheapest ones. And then they had a collaboration stout with Prairie Artisan Ales out of Oklahoma City. It's just called the Trill Bomb.
That's exactly, yes.
That's it.
All right.
$22 for that one.
Yeah.
Smaller than the size of bottle you're getting with those, but I mean, those guys are also stout masters. So
honestly, if I'd seen that, I would have bought that too.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I thought not too bad for pricing. The seltzer brand is called Soak, SOAK. And they had on their website, like you were talking about, cool different stuff. They had in their seltzer section like a bunch of recipes to use the seltzers to make drinks, like mixed drinks.
Oh, okay.
So they had, here's the 3 that I wrote down. Mango. Oh, boy. That's another word.
Mango.
Aperitivo, maybe?
What?
Spritz. A cucumber lime spritz. Spicy pineapple margarita. And then a spiked raspberry lime Ricky. So like a lime Ricky is an old drink, and this is their version of that.
That sounds delicious.
So they were, very citrus fruity seltzers, and it was kind of cool to see that they branched out and had recipes to make mixed drinks. I hadn't seen that before.
Huh.
So you said aperitivo?
Yeah.
I had to look that up. I didn't know what it was. And an aperitivo is a carbonated bitter and low alcohol beverage such as Aperol Spritz, which is made with Prosecco, Aperol, and spritz of sparkling mineral water.
There you go.
Huh.
No idea.
Sounds fancy in
That
Italian.
does sound fancy.
Pairs
Prosecco,
well with
especially.
cheeses and salamis.
Hey, good thing you said that. We're going to the food section because, of course, if you're at one of these places, did you guys have food there?
We did not eat food there. We ate ahead of time knowing that it was going to be busy as hell.
And, it's good to have a little insurance on your side when you go to the brewery, so eating beforehand is always a plus. Here's some of the appetizers they had. Just an olive plate. You like olives? Here, just dump a whole bunch on here.
Gross, no, but
and
okay.
It didn't seem like it was just a can of black olives that they dumped on there. They were the fancy kind that are like a little purplish and weird shape and whatever.
Greek olives and all those
Yeah,
weirdness.
yeah.
All gross, but okay.
Yeah, that's a different story.
I
love olives.
My own commentary.
Rich's views do not reflect the Dolan and Brian's. We like olives. $3 for an oyster.
A single oyster.
Yeah.
See, I think, and this is funny because it ties back to my TripAdvisor here at the very end.
Okay.
I think $3 for an oyster is expensive. I don't know if if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't.
I get the feeling it's like Midwest has our chicken wings or whatever, right? Like they're just like, hey, guess what we have? We're on the East Coast. We have oysters.
Oysters. Mm-hmm.
No, whatever.
Yeah, because in hindsight, I guess chicken wings are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can buy a whole chicken
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
at the grocery store for like $8 or something.
Sometimes you go to places and it's like $1.25 a wing, and you're like, really?
Really? $1.25?
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to grow those little tiny chickens, right? I mean, that costs money.
I want to know what they do with the rest of the little chicken. What do they do with that? Who knows?
Cornish game hens.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like there's more chickens in the world than oysters. I don't know.
I bet there's more oysters.
I would guess so too.
Really?
You can kind of grow them both, I guess.
I guess.
You farm them. You farm them both. That'd be a good thing for the sustainability tab on their website. Maybe it's there. I don't know.
Yeah.
$6 for some mixed nuts that they mix there on site. So
okay.
it's not the Costco tub.
Right.
They have their own proprietary blend. Ooh, that was a good word.
Proprietary, good.
I got it out.
Hey, as long as it's not 50% peanuts, then I'm fine with paying $6.
There wasn't even any peanuts in the list.
Even better. Then it's totally worth $6.
Almonds, pistachios, walnuts, and cashews.
Oh, geez. Just the pistachios, I'd pay $6.
Yeah.
There you go. And cashews are expensive.
Cashews are
All
expensive.
nuts are expensive. This is crazy.
You know what I like? I like a good Brazil nut, too.
Oh, yeah.
I like those.
I
They're big and
remember those.
meaty.
Yeah. Poutine.
Oh, yeah.
Made with duck gravy,
Weird.
Vermont
my
cheese
language.
curds. And then if you want some actual duck in there, throw in a couple more bucks and they'll slap some, nice duck breast on top of your
Shred some
cheese.
duck breast on there.
Yeah. Mac and cheese. $18 for your big mac and cheese plate.
Is it actually made of gold?
Velveeta gold, maybe. I don't know. But if you want to add some chicken thigh to it, or brisket, or duck, you can do that too.
Ooh.
Now, I imagine duck in mac and cheese would be very rich.
I think so.
So I don't know that I would go that route because then I would be hard time drinking.
I'd go brisket.
I'd go brisket. That's a Midwest thing, though.
And then a hot chicken sandwich, like the old spicy style.
Ooh,
They
like
have that
Nashville
too.
hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had that too.
Boston hot, though.
Boston hot. I feel like Boston hot's probably not that spicy. I don't know why I
Probably
feel
not.
that way, but
It will punch you in the face later, though.
yes.
But then buy you a beer afterwards. So there you go.
That's nice. We talked about this is the spot, like the what is this coffee cake,
Coffee
right?
cake,
Yep.
yeah.
They also have one that's called the Spice Cake Imperial Stout. They had for, I guess this was something that they made there, chocolate covered peanut brittle.
Oh.
So that's not a that's a beer. Like
Oh, I thought there was like a snack or something.
Yeah, I was like,
I
to
don't
go
think
with
it
your
is, but I
coffee
think
cake
it's like
beer.
it's a stout flavor maybe.
Okay. All right.
Which I've never seen ever before. And then they had a triple IPA that was called Weather Observatory.
Okay.
And then they had a double IPA, so a DIPA, and it's called Max Legroom.
Oh.
And it had kind of like a
Max Headroom kind of looking guy on there.
And then just a pale ale called Hatchet.
I believe I had that one.
That one?
I think I
Okay.
did, yeah. Because I asked when we sat down at the little bar area off to the side, I said, I've had Trillium before. Like, give me what's your standard? Like, what's the beer like you're like
the flagship or whatever?
Yeah. What do you give to people the first time? Like, this is what it is. This is what Trillium's all about. And he brought me back 4, and there were 2. There was a pale, an IPA, a double IPA, and then one of their stouts. And I can't remember what the stout was. And I was most impressed with the stout, quite honestly. And maybe it's just how I've had a lot of IPAs, and I'm kind of just IPA'd out.
Yeah.
Right now, there wasn't anything wrong with them. They were really good, but the stout and this one here are really good.
Yeah, this thing is legit.
I got a lot of my research on this from an article that came from vinepair.com. Don't know what that is. Vinepair.
Okay.
Not sure. But it's 10 things you should know about Trillium Brewing Company. So I started writing some of this out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to print the whole thing because we're going to go through all 10 things that you should know.
Okay.
About
Good. I can drink
Trillium.
some of this beer.
You can drink. You drink, I'll talk. Number 1, Trillium is brewed with love. It's a brewery born out of romance, named after a flower and founded on farmhouse community values. By all accounts, Trillium should be the brewery equivalent of that girl in the crochet dress dancing with her eyes closed at a folk festival. That is descriptive.
It is. I can see her right now.
Yep. You okay?
I was just at the concert in my mind, and
Yeah. Your brewski is named after a flower. This is number 2. Trillium isn't the way you say trillion. It's a flower, Trillium. And that's because co-founder JC is a self-described botany nerd.
Wow.
He likes himself some botany.
that's a really specific nerdery to be into.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
There's a whole TikTok on it.
on botany.
Yeah, it's like botany TikTok.
I bet you that's a hopping spot.
I bet it is.
I don't have the TikTok, but
Yeah.
if I did, I would definitely.
There are no scantily clad women dancing on that page.
You got to go to the folk concert
yes.
TikTok for
Yeah.
that one
Yes.
with the crocheted dress.
Number 3, Trillium is greedy for flavor.
Oh,
And that's awesome. Trillium has a farmhouse mentality. Think wild yeast barrel aging with a slight tendency towards mad science.
Oh.
I like that a lot.
a little out of
too.
control. I
Yeah.
like that too.
A little crazy.
Yeah,
I like it.
Don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Number 4, they're into drinking and yoga and food.
I'm into two of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You can guess on which ones, probably. Yeah. Trillium holds events like Sweat and Sip, where an hour-long yogi master,
Yeah,
is that
yogi,
it?
yeah.
Has a session followed up with cold beer. Now,
Wow.
you could trick me into doing some yoga if there was beer at the end of
That
it.
just put it a little bit out of your reach.
Uh-huh,
You're like,
uh-huh.
I just come to the thing at 55-minute time and then sneak in the back.
Brian, you're late. Well, I'm here.
Traffic. Is it beer time?
Trillium is into futuristic hopping. Not like jumping, like hopping.
Right.
Hops is over the course of an all-star brewing party called the Beer Camp across America, the folks at Trillium stumbled across something called Lupulin Powder. Basically, the powdered essence of flash frozen hops.
So
And now
like
they're brewing
ground
with
up
it.
or
Ground
something.
up, flash frozen, ground up hops. And now they're brewing with
Beer
it.
camp, is that what you said?
Beer Camp across America.
I remember when Sierra Nevada did that.
Yeah.
They used to have like a big box, and it was kind of like a collaboration event, and they would work with other breweries from all over the United States. And it was
Interesting.
called Beer Camp. I haven't thought of that in a long time. That was like 10 years ago. I don't think they still do it anymore.
I mean, I guess back then that was cool. I'd
It
do
was
that.
because it was like you couldn't get a lot
Right.
of these breweries any other way.
I'd be into that right now.
That's weird. I haven't thought of that in forever.
We talked about this one already. Trillium was one of the top 10 brewers in the world in 2016, the year the Cubs won the World Series.
Oh, that was a good year.
Yeah, it was.
It's a year after the Royals won.
Trillium knows its glassware. You can drink beer out of almost anything that'll hold it. But, just like wine, certain beers yield a bit more of their character in specific glassware. Among the bountiful swag available at its online store, Trillium offers a variety of beer glass-specific glasses that will make you always regret using a solo cup.
That's true. I
Yes.
did look at their website, and they had a lot of glassware. There's nothing. more discouraging to me than when you go to the brewery and they just give it to you in the pint glass.
That's lazy.
No matter what it is.
Lazy.
I'm not a fan of that.
I want to order a beer. Then I want the beer tender to turn around and scan the wall of glasses to pick the right one.
Yeah.
Right? And have he or she know, if I ordered this beer, goes in this glass. Like, have that knowledge.
I mean, it's on purpose that somebody figured this out, right? So it doesn't have to go into the plastic solo cup. You can if you're in a pinch, but just don't do that.
I'm looking for the date on this article, but I don't see it. Next one is it's currently only available in Massachusetts. Well, that's not true. We get distribution now, so.
Well, I mean, maybe to buy it in like a store, maybe shipping is different. I think, but yeah.
Number 9, Trillium might cost you $1 trillion. Okay, that was lame. That's what they said. One of the very, very high-priced craft beer breweries out there, but it does say that they ship, like we know. So,
well, and the prices I saw wasn't out of this world.
No,
so.
I don't think so either. So, I think maybe this article was a little old. And then finally, one of its beers is named after an incredibly bizarre naked David Hasselhoff photo.
David, is it about a cheeseburger?
It's called Covered in Puppies.
Oh, I remember this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think they're like, what's that dog that's real wrinkly? Not the pug. Shar-Pei?
Yeah, I think that's
right. It's a bunch of Shar-Peis. If I remember my internet perusing, I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of Shar-Peis and a naked David Hasselhoff.
Weird.
Yeah.
Maybe Nathan could use that photo, even though we're not drinking that beer for the cover art for this episode.
I might have to get that on my phone just as a wallpaper on my screen.
Maybe. So it's a double. Covered in Puppies is a juicy, fruity double IPA with notes of warm bread and tropical fruit. And a little David Hasselhoff sweat to round out the flavor profile.
That was pre-Baywatch. It was like Knight Rider time frame, I think.
Rider.
So
Kit would have been jealous.
Uh-oh. Going in for seconds.
Yeah, this is good. And I'm not generally a cinnamon fan.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the cinnamon in this one a lot.
Or a stout fan?
He's getting there.
I'm getting better.
Getting better?
I'm getting better, yeah.
I just saw a Facebook thing in my memories, and it was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and it was from him. It was like, trying to get into stouts.
I know, I'm trying.
Here we are.
Yeah.
You brought it back.
What have you done to me? I think I've said that before. I think I've texted you. What have you done?
What have you done to me?
Yep. Here's what I got for us. I thought, you know what? You went there. You know all about the place.
Yep.
I want to learn a little bit about the beer we were making or the flavors profile.
Coffee cake.
So we're going to talk about coffee cake. What is it? Where did it come from?
Okay.
April 7th is National Coffee Cake Day. So coming up.
Okay.
There's a day for everything.
Yeah.
So why not coffee cake? Coffee cake is a sponge cake flavored with coffee. So that's what it's supposed to be. Or it can be sweet. So coffee usually is not sweet, sometimes bitter, right?
Right.
It's kind of.
I hope it is.
Getting some of this bittery sort of, those flavors here.
Yep.
Usually coffee cake is a circle shape. Like a true coffee cake is circular.
Like a bundt cake?
Kind of, yeah, in that shape.
Okay.
I think what I found out was it's been around for a long time. Comes from like Central Europe is where it originates from. So like Germany-ish.
I could see that.
That area.
I could see that.
Like Eastern France. The idea of it was, it probably wasn't very sweet, but to them it was. And they would eat it while they were drinking like bitter coffee or tea. So it was a way to like cut that, the sharpness of those things with this sweet sensation. So that's the reason why it was there. The area it was from was already kind of known for sweet pastry sort of, things that they made. So it kind of just grew out of that. Yep. German and Scandinavian countries. That's where most of this came from. And then they brought that sort of mentality and also some of their recipes to the United States. So a lot of Midwestern areas, you will see this on like the menu at a restaurant or something like nowadays, but or 100 years ago, something like that. That's kind of where it came from. Pasteurization. So, Louis Pasteur.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that name. Made it so that sour cream was a thing. And when that happened, then it was kind of incorporated into a lot of the recipes.
Yeah.
Because before that, it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So you'll see differing things. There's either one with or one without sour cream.
Is he also responsible for cottage cheese? Because if so, that's a travesty.
That's a negative against him.
Yeah. Travesty.
So, drink milk, don't die. Cool. Cottage cheese, not cool.
Gross.
You have to
I
decide.
love cottage cheese. Come on.
Are you a small curd or large curd guy?
I am any curd. I just like cottage cheese.
Give me all the curd.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm not a cottage cheese guy.
No?
either.
Oh, it's really good.
I mean,
in spaghetti.
I've told you my problem with cottage cheese, right?
No.
what's like bile?
Well, that too. It has no identity. It has zero identity.
Oh my gosh.
You can eat it with sugar. You can eat it with pepper. You can eat it with vegetables. You can eat it on a salad. You can eat it with fruit. You can have it with watermelon. You can have it as a side dish. You can have it. It has zero identity. None whatsoever.
Well, you could say the same thing about grits, can't you?
No, grits are delicious. You watch your mouth. Grits are delicious.
I don't like grits.
Grits. Okay, so we got
Carry on.
I'm not. Grits are grainy to me, but
I love them.
I'd eat 10 bowls of grits before I'd eat a spoonful of cottage cheese.
100%.
It's just gross.
Yep.
1850. First advertisement for coffee cake
Okay.
in the United States, like in a newspaper. In 1763, it's published in Germany. So they're talking about it and like sharing recipes like you do now, where you have to read 9 scrolls down of, this lady's life story about how to make the pot roast, whatever they do,
Yeah.
And then there's like this much about the actual what you need to do to make the food.
And there's always like 6 ads that are videos, and you click on it, and it's an ad, and it's not like the video on how to make whatever you're trying to make.
And it's like, Tom really, when he gets home from work and the kids are fussing, I like to have this prepped ahead of, no, I don't care. Just how much, whatever.
How many carrots am I putting in this thing?
That's what I want to know, that sort of stuff. 1950, here comes this thing, the bundt cake. It was not around before that. Before 1950.
Really?
The pan.
The pan.
Yeah. So now you'll see them with a hole in the middle.
Yes.
So round with a hole in the middle, that's kind of the standard. So this looks like not.
It's not. No, definitely
what
not.
What they say is a coffee cake. Now, I think a lot of times any sort of like sweet thing is labeled as a coffee cake.
Sure.
Anything with streusel on it sometimes. But technically speaking, not a coffee cake. And most of them in the United States aren't even have coffee in them anymore. They're not flavored that way.
Lame.
But that's why they are called coffee cake, because they were flavored with coffee and or some like tea.
At that point, it's just cake, right?
Yeah. But I guess people, don't want to say they're having cake for breakfast. But if you say coffee cake, then it's like, okay, I can have some coffee cake.
Okay.
But you're like, hey, I'm going to have birthday cake for breakfast. They're like, no, that's bad for me.
Birthday cake for breakfast is awesome.
Cake in any time, I think, is pretty awesome. But yeah.
Birthday cake is like one step away from pancakes. Let's be honest. I mean,
come on.
virtually the same ingredients.
You're covering it in maple syrup.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't be ashamed.
That sounds good.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd go good with this stout.
I would drink the stout for breakfast too, honestly.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got for us for coffee cake.
As it warms up, the cinnamon really comes out more, I think. I think way more. And you get more bitterness, like the coffee bitterness sort of from it.
It finishes more like coffee to me than beer, like a beer.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It just tastes like it was a coffee that I had sitting on my desk and I forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, I'll drink that.
I
And
better
then
have some of that.
And it's got some booze in it too. Yum.
Dolan, how do you feel about this?
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. No, I really do. I enjoy the cinnamon. I enjoy everything about it. The coffee is more bitter than maybe I was expecting going into it. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit more sweet because it is coffee cake, and the coffee cake I'm used to is obviously not the real coffee cake, right? So I thought it would be a little bit more sweet cinnamon. I thought there would be like a streusel flavor, maybe from the vanilla. But no, I like it. I like it for what it is.
I appreciate that it doesn't really have that much sweetness.
You know,
There's
yeah,
some.
I was like you. I was kind of expecting it sweet. I think because a lot of the stouts that we get around here, especially higher ABV ones,
Right.
are usually sweet.
Yeah.
Usually got milk sugar in it or whatever. So it's kind of refreshing isn't the right term, but it's nice to have a beer like that isn't, diabetes in a glass.
Yeah.
Like I like it. That's one of the reasons I like just straight barrel-aged stouts, which you can't hardly find anymore.
Right.
Because you just get that roasty warmness without all the sugar.
I believe, I don't know if this is a tease or not. I believe we've got a straight barrel aged. No, we do. We have a straight barrel aged stout coming up here in a couple weeks. Ooh. I picked it up while I was in Kansas.
I'll come have some of that.
You want to have some of that?
Yeah, I will.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, so TripAdvisor. Now keep in mind I was here.
Yeah.
I saw people eating. I saw people enjoying their food. I saw them eating the oysters that they're talking about. That he's talking about here. Okay, so 4.5 out of 5 on 119 reviews. So a good chunk. I instantly went to. There were 2 negative reviews.
One of them was the guy that wrote the wiki page.
Probably, I don't know.
Okay,
so
we'll find out.
Here's the title of his TripAdvisor review: "No shuck, all jive."
Shuck and jive.
Shuck and jive.
It's a oyster pun too. I like it.
Yeah, he's clever. Okay, here we go. Walked 8 miles across Boston for oysters and beer at this brewery. First off,
Braggy. Get out of here.
Right.
8 miles.
8 miles. Yeah,
Because
you're gonna walk in Boston anyway.
yeah.
Definitely. Just whatever.
up,
Drop
shut
that part out.
Just because your Apple Watch told you walked 8 miles doesn't give you the
miles.
little badge or whatever.
Eminem.
Whatever.
Get out of here.
I'm already annoyed with this
And
guy.
because you walked 8 miles doesn't mean it's their fault.
No kidding.
I mean, it's super like pat myself on the back. I had walked so far.
Look at me.
I don't like this already.
Yeah,
First
exactly.
sentence in.
Having carefully looked at the one menu on their website, which is also mounted at the front entrance, claiming every day from 11 to 11. I don't know what claiming 11 to 11 is. Like they're open or something? Okay,
Maybe
fine.
you
well,
forgot
I don't know.
the
maybe.
word. Okay.
Well, you're there. So, not true, ! They had a lame brunch menu instead, and I saw not one customer eating a waffle or other breakfast food. It's because it's supposed to be a brewery! With a raw bar menu, that was my reason for going to this place in the first place. Terrible manager making excuses, had one flat beer and left hungry. Fix your website and lose the brunch. What a dickhead.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. None of these things, I can tell you having just recently been, and this was done in 2020.
Yeah.
So, 1, have some patience, yo. 2, I can tell you I've been here. These things aren't true. Like, I watched people eating oysters there.
Yeah.
I actually thought, all right, if I didn't have to speak the next day, I might actually have a couple oysters or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how that would react to my stomach.
Sure.
So I tended to stay away from them.
It's a good call.
More my call than it is, but they look delicious. So there you go. And the beer is not flat. He's just, I don't know what he's looking for.
I don't know either, but it wasn't a waffle, apparently.
No one was eating a waffle or breakfast food.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like that review at all.
People are idiots. I mean, they
I
really
do like
are.
that he took the time to write it all down, though. That was great.
I can only just imagine him just
Angrily
angry
typing.
thumb typing as he sits in the brewery drinking his flat beer that he thinks is flat or something.
I looked carefully. Yeah, whatever.
at the menu, and they had it posted to
I
not
bet
true.
you if he walked, maybe half a mile more, he could have got an oyster somewhere.
Right.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Well, you can please some of the people some of the time.
You can't please them all
Right.
some of the time.
Untapped, 3,800 check-ins for this beer right here. And they do a barrel-aged version of this, too, which is
Wait,
interesting.
what?
Yeah.
I wonder what the ABV on that one
I don't know.
is.
Maybe we could order it and have it sent here. Maybe. 3,800 check-ins. Where do you think we land on the Coffee Cake Imperial Stout?
387.
3.92.
4.35.
Whoa.
Monster. Yes.
That's one of the highest we've
Wow.
ever done, I
on,
think.
on 3,800 reviews?
Yeah.
That's a beast.
Wow.
It's 475 for me right there. I mean,
Wow.
that's good. That is real good.
Now I want to try the barrel age.
Me too. Well, order it off
This
the
is
website.
just straight up, huh?
Yeah. Order it off the website. See what I don't even know what kind of barrel. Rum, rye, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, but
Completely stain the glass.
oh yeah, viscosity on that thing.
It's one of those beers that you're never going to be able to drink all of it that's in your glass because it's sticking to the sides of it.
You have to use your finger to scrape out the rust. It's just a good tip.
Did you reach your tongue down inside?
You know what I think is interesting? They have to put the deposit for the glass, whatever, on here, even for states that they don't ship to or whatever. So it's like
Iowa.
New York, Iowa, Michigan, 10 cents.
So I could take this to Iowa and get 10 cents?
Who gives you the 10 cents?
I don't know.
Just when you walk across the border, you're like, here. Oh, you got a bottle. Here's 10 cents.
There you go.
I wonder how that works.
I often get judged by my recycling man that because my recycler is so full is so full of bottles.
Yeah.
I can get 10 cents a piece for those.
Just got to drive them to Iowa.
I don't want to drive to Iowa.
Well, then you don't get no 10 cents.
Yeah, okay, well, recycler man can have them.
Yep.
All right. Next week, we go all the way back across the other side of the country and across an ocean.
Whoa.
Recruiter Braden Boakes brought us back some beers from Hawaii. I went back and forth on this one. It's got a X-rated name.
Oh, I like X-rated.
Get a little saucy next week, maybe.
Okay.
So tune in next week to hear that one. In the meantime, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have some more beers.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.